Have you ever seen two mediums read the same spirit at the same time? Ever had a teacher link into the spirit that you're bringing through during a class or a development circle? In this video, I'm sharing how you can learn to link into a spirit and share a contact with another medium. Plus, why it's an incredibly helpful skill in certain situations. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell too. That way you'll be notified every time that I release a new video about all things mediumship. I release recordings of my readings so you can see me in action, spiritual how-tos, meditations, and so much more. If you're a medium, I'm sure that you understand how important it is to do what we call anchor the link, or identify the spirit person who is coming through while you're reading. Perhaps you've been in a certain situation where you've witnessed one medium linking in to the same spirit that another medium is already bringing through. This often happens in a teaching setting, perhaps a class or a development circle. Let's say that a student gets stuck with the evidence they're bringing through, getting a lot of no's, or perhaps the link isn't strong and they continue to drop the link. That might be a time where the teacher would step forward and link in with that spirit, start bringing through evidence to get the link strong again, and then invite the student to continue forward. Another time this might happen is when two mediums are linking into the same spirit and sharing that contact. Perhaps they're sharing the stage and giving what I call a tag team reading. This is a lot of fun. So it's not just one medium giving a reading and then another medium giving a reading to a different person with a different spirit person. It's two mediums at once sharing the same contact and switching back and forth while they continue to give evidence and messages for a sitter. I was in a class once and there were 13 students, 3 tutors. We all sat around in a circle, and the first person who started linked into a spirit and gave one single piece of evidence. And then as we went around the entire circle, every single medium gave a different piece of evidence. It just goes to show you can link into the same spirit with multiple people. And it can be such a powerful tool when you are working with students and helping them to flesh out the identity of the spirit person and the evidence and the message. And what's so fun to notice about this practice is when you give a reading with another medium and you're sharing a contact, each of you gets different pieces of evidence or shares them in different ways, receives them in different ways. And it really reminds you that there's so much more possible in terms of evidence and spirit communication than we even realize. So how do you link in? I remember feeling really intimidated by the idea of doing this, like it was some advanced skills that only mediums who had been working for 30 years and teaching for a long time could do, but it's actually quite simple. It's not that different than linking into any other spirit. So what I focus on first and foremost, just to keep it nice and simple, which it is expanding my energetic field, my aura, into the aura of the other medium that I'm going to be working with. So that's what I focus on the most. And if you are in person, you could stand by them, link arms with them. Sometimes people believe this helps just to blend with that other medium. So that's what you want to do. Expand your aura into theirs and blend with them once they've already identified the spirit that they're working with and anchored the link themselves. Then you link right into that spirit and start giving evidence. Now, if you're working virtually, it's just the same. You may not be in a physical space with the other medium you're reading with, but you would still expand your aura toward them, and you would imagine yourself blending your auric field with theirs because they've already linked into the spirit, and then you would go ahead and link into that same spirit, or vice versa if you're anchoring the link first. Now, when I've done this and worked with another medium, usually one of us begins, and then when we get to that place in the evidence where it feels like we're ready for the other person to join in, the other person goes ahead, gives some evidence for a little while, and then we switch back and forth. And it's so fascinating because when I've done this with other mediums, I can very easily feel the time to switch, especially if you're working with another medium who's open and generous and wanting to share that stage with you, wanting to share that time with you. I also really enjoyed how I might be seeing an image and then my partner might all of a sudden start describing exactly what I'm seeing. Or they're talking about one family member, and all of a sudden I feel very strongly, okay, now it's my time and I need to bring through a message from this other family member. So I do feel that spirit is so intelligent that they work with which medium gets which evidence and which message in the way that it will be most powerful and most healing. And it's absolutely incredible when you're working with the right person. Now, there are a couple very important things to keep in mind when it comes to linking in with the spirit that another medium is bringing through. But first, have you ever seen a reading where a medium shared a contact with another medium or mediums? Or have you ever given a reading where you share a contact with another medium? Go ahead, share below. So, some very important things to keep in mind. When I am teaching and working with students, I am not trying to actively link in to the spirit they are bringing through. I'm simply observing. I'm watching how they're bringing through evidence. I'm taking stock of the link they have with spirit. Is it solid? And I'm seeing how the sitter is responding and how the evidence is sitting. Is it accurate? It's only when I feel like we're getting stuck or they ask for help that I jump in and link in with that spirit, start giving a bit of evidence to make sure that I've got the right spirit person. And then I just do a little bit of work to flesh out that contact a little more so that that link feels nice and strong to my student and they can jump right back in it. Now, why wouldn't I be trying to actively link throughout the whole reading? Well, first of all, I want to conserve energy. When I'm not working in that way. And I can understand just as much by watching my student. But just as importantly, that can dilute the energy because my student needs to use that energy to go ahead and bring that spirit person through. What I don't want to do is dilute that energy by linking in prematurely and making it harder for them to bring through that contact. I will also note when I'm teaching to all my students in the development group, please do not link in while another student is trying to bring a spirit through. And this is something that mediums do all the time when they don't realize that it makes it harder for the student who's bringing through the spirit to bring it through. So it's an etiquette thing. You will get your chance in class to bring through a spirit. But when you're not the one working, this is time to go ahead and shine all of your attention on the medium who is working, not try to be testing your skills behind the scenes and dilute the energy for the working medium. This also goes for group readings or platform readings, aka stage readings. I had a tutor share with me that one time she was doing a stage reading and she was having a really hard time. The contact just wasn't really coming through. And so she took a moment and she asked her spirit team, what's happening right now? And the answer she got was that this was an audience full of mediums who were all trying to link into the spirit that she was bringing through. And so she had to make an announcement and say, if you're a medium and you're trying to link in right now, it's disrupting the energy, please stop. And once they stopped, she was able to bring through the contact with no problem whatsoever. If you're interested in strengthening your clairs so you can speak to spirit, go ahead and check out my free guide. It's below. It's called 3 Easy Exercises to Strengthen Your Clairs and Speak to Spirit. You can also check out my free training. It's called 3 Essential Practices to Strengthen Your Skills as a Medium. Both links are in the video description below. You can also check out mediumshipwithmel.com if you'd like to book a private reading, group readings, or you can check out my development circle if you'd like to learn right along with me. Don't forget to check out this video next. And if you like this video, give it a like, subscribe if you haven't yet, hit that bell if you'd like to be notified the next time I release a new video about all things mediumship.